The next thing we're gonna do for our fishy watercolor sketch is we're gonna do some detail painting back on top of the wash that we already did for our little yellow fish, because he's dry now. And so we wanna add some smaller detail pieces. So with detail painting, you're just using a smaller brush or using the brush that you have to get those smaller, finer areas within what you've already put on there. We could also do a little bit of scumbling on here to add just little bits here and there to add some more color onto our fish. So I'm not just gonna do yellow straight on top of here because he's already yellow. I'm gonna add a little bit of different color to my yellow. And so I have my palette down here. I have some yellow still mixed up from where we added that last time. And I'm gonna pull just a little bit of it out into the main part of my circle of the palette over here. And I'm gonna pull a little bit of this green, just a tiny bit, that I did for this other piece. And I'm gonna see if that makes it change enough to where it's like a slightly different color. It's a little bit yellowy green there, so I'm gonna go with that. So what I'm gonna do through here is I'm gonna start adding just small little detail areas, maybe like a little bit on the fin through here, add those smaller, darker bits. Remember, it's gonna get like farther out as you get to there and closer together as it gets down toward the body area. Add a little bit of those things in. Now, that doesn't look like a whole lot now, but once you do that on a few different areas, maybe some of them are a little bit darker. Maybe on the bottom side of his fin, we give him a little bit more of a green through here. But the thing is, what's happened here is my lines weren't thin enough, so they connected. On that detail painting, if you're painting over a dried area, you wanna make sure that your lines are thin enough to where they don't connect. So maybe my round number 2 brush is not thin enough of a brush. So what I'm gonna do is grab a smaller detail brush that might not be in my kit, but I have this teeny tiny little brush, guys, that I like to use. So you can find another brush, and I have plenty of these for everybody to share, and then go in and add your details that way. So I'm gonna add a few little, maybe I don't do lines of details, maybe I do little kind of scaly looking things through here to give them a little bit of texture on top. And I can just adjust how much yellow or how much green I put in there and give it just a little bit of detail. That's not very much paint at all. Let's get a little bit more yellow. Add that through there. Now we're not covering the whole area, but we want to cover some of it. Remember, we don't want them to connect. So I'm gonna add just those smaller little bits. And it's gonna look like it's bubbling up on top of the paper. It'll dry, it'll be fine. And then we can add some more details on the fin in the back there. Really, we can add whatever details we want with that detail painting brush. So experiment a little bit with adding some scaly things or some details to the outside fin, or maybe you want to get a little bit of detail on the like eye of the fish area. What I'm going to do for that is end the video so past period traffic doesn't interrupt my video.